Hi and welcome to the MR Spliff Show. So they've decided to make me legal in Colorado, only for use within your own home. You can't use it outside, you can't sell it unless you have a license and you're doing it through shops and you're highly regulated the way it should be if you're going to legalize any substance which may cause harm, which is what they do for tobacco and alcohol at the moment. It's only state law, not federal law, meaning that the local police cannot do anything about it, but the federal law still can come in and take away all their goods and all their gains made through the selling of marijuana. Basically, marijuana back in the early 1800s to the early 1900s was legal in America and had more than a few thousand uses for it through its hemp and through medicinal and through recreational uses. And at one point, one of the major newspapers even had an article up saying that it was the billion-dollar industry before it became legalized, because it was deemed to make people brutal and violent towards other people, even though later when they made it legal again, due to the Second World War and the need for better and quick growing fibers and fabrics, it became legal again until they realized that it didn't make people brutal, because originally it was there to also keep the black man down. It then said that you became docile and addicted to it. And even though it is an addictive drug to some people, not all of the users, you don't get the same withdrawal symptoms as you would from any other drugs. When it gets kicked out of your body, you just kind of, the addiction sensors in your brains make you a bit angry that you're not getting it. And that is it. The same with tobacco. Withdrawal symptoms, you get angry that you're not getting your daily fix. But the way people perceive weed is still in the same way as people in politics want them to perceive weed, which is that it's a bad drug for people and it makes them a druggie. It doesn't, it just makes them talkative and florists and carpenters and creatives, because we're always looking for ways to make interesting bongs. But if you were to legalize weed throughout the world, you'd get more than 1,000 uses. The oil industry would go down, the wooding industry would go down, paper, using trees for paper would go down, because you can make hemp paper which doesn't yellow or decay like normal paper does. There's thousands of uses you can do for it, but obviously we don't want it getting into the hands of children. So what could you do with all this money that you would save from the war on drugs and policing it? You would put it back into the educational system for children so that they could be educated on this drug, the uses for it, and why it shouldn't really be used as recreation, more for medicine, and more for the fibers, the strands, the oils, and everything you can get through hemp and marijuana, more than the weed or the bud or itself. It's more the stem, the leaves, and everything else you can do with it. That is amazing, and this is why it should be legalized, because of the amount of revenue it would create for the world. But people don't want it because of how badly it would hit their industries. A great documentary to watch is one you can find on YouTube. It's called the Best Marijuana Weed Documentary Ever, and it is 1 hour 44 minutes long, but definitely worth the watch if you want to be educated in the way of marijuana and drug usage. Personally and obviously, I'm quite glad they're doing this test in Colorado to make it legal for recreational use, so that people can actually see and start to understand this drug better, and therefore it gets more acknowledgement, and people get better educated through Colorado doing what they're doing. Hopefully the feds won't step in the way and close it all down once these people have made so much money that the feds can just come in and take it away and use it for whatever they want, like the making keeping it decriminalized. You don't want to just make it illegal, you want to decriminalize it, and you want it so that people have to standardize it and make sure that it goes through the correct processes for everyone, so that, you know, stuff you don't want ending up in there. Like, so there's so much that is created, so much crime that is created through it being criminalized, that you could instantly stamp out by decriminalizing it. Weed is not just this bad drug that everyone thinks it is. It is good for your health. It is good for the world by stopping the cutting down of trees, and it's good for medicine use for people with multiple sclerosis and things where their body shuts down and slowly kills them and makes their own body a tomb. It helps so many people in so many ways. It should be decriminalized. But these are my thoughts on them. Let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section. So take care and long live 420.